back. Thank you and welcome everybody to the Genuine Kid podcast. You know how I start. I normally just start off just saying thank you to God and for all he has done and what he will continue to do for me. Not only me, my friends, my family, and for those who I don't even know. Thank you. It's been a while. If I'm being quite frank, it's been a year, over a year. You know, we're going to talk about time today. And that's going to be the topic. Time is something that you can't get back. No matter how hard we try to get it back, it's already gone. And it seems like time goes by pretty fast. Sometimes we look up and the entire year has got away from us. Sometimes we look up and the month has got away from us. And we're looking like, dang, wow. Sometimes we look up, time has passed and our kids are grown. But at one point in time, they were 1, they were 2, they were 3. You know what I mean? It's crazy, but it's the truth. And time doesn't wait on anybody. Not even if we wanted to. I'm gonna talk about myself for a second, and I've been very inconsistent with my time. My time with God, my time with putting in the work and putting the work into my podcast. I haven't put in the time, and time has got away. And I've been very inconsistent, and I've let a whole over a year go by. You know? And I look at that and I be like, dang, man, you know what? I could have did better. But I can't focus on that because I feel like there's no expiration date on your dream. There's no expiration date on what you want to do. But again, we get back into time. We all know that we won't live forever. We're going to someday die. It's inevitable. So let's make good use of the time that we have. You know, I think that we all, including myself, we take time for granted. You know, I've been fortunate enough, by the grace of God, to wake up for 34 years. It's 34 years. I've been able to wake up and go to work, provide for my family, do almost everything that I've needed to do and some of the things that I wanted to do. So I've had 34 years of time. And that's all through God. And I just want to take a second to thank him for that. So we have to be mindful of that. Because sometimes our time, expiration day, however you want to look at it, it will run out. But how do you want to live with the time that you got? How do you want to remember? How do you want to be remembered with the time you have left? You know, just recently, one of my coworkers, we worked together over a year, very nice guy. And I got a text message from another ex-coworker, and very, very young guy. He's like maybe about a year older than me. I'm 34, so he's got to be like 35. And his name was Justin. And she said my coworker had told me that his family was putting a plug on him. He was on life support, and his family was putting a plug this evening. And I'm like, wow. The last time, we talking about time again, I saw this person, he was healthy. The last time we were talking, everything seemed to be good. But now we fast forward to a year later, and now he was fighting for his life on life support for almost a month. And now his family, on that evening, was pulling the plug. So his time has ran out. Think about that for a second. That could be any one of us. So I think that we need to be grateful to God, but also be mindful of the time that we have here. I think, again, we all take time for granted. We think that we're going to live forever. We think we're going to have enough time to do everything. We think we do, because we've gotten so accustomed to living and doing the things that we wanted to do all our life. We think we got time. Hey, Dad, can you take me to the park? I'll take you tomorrow. But if we're being quite frank, we don't know if we're going to make it to tomorrow. We don't know if we go to work and we might not come back. We don't know. We honestly do not know that. So we just need to make best use of the time that we have as much as possible, myself included. Make good use of your time. I have always wanted to lose weight, and I've always wanted to be in better shape. But what time did I put into it? I was unhappy with the way I looked, and I'm currently working on that. But I never put any time in it. Or I wasn't consistent enough. So if I don't put the time in, how can I be mad with the result that I'm getting? You feel me? If I'm not putting in the time into whatever I want, I really want to flourish my podcast. I really want to flourish my YouTube channel. I really want to do a lot of different things, but I'm not putting in time. I'm giving you all a different perspective to look at it myself. I haven't done that. And as a work in progress, I pray to God that I get better, even with the time that I'm spending with Him. Time. It's a four-letter word, but it has a big meaning. We want to be better at being a father or a mother or whatever it is, a provider, but what time are we putting in with our kids? What time are we putting in I'm just giving an example, if we want to be a better provider for our families, what time are we putting in looking for jobs and going to look? We want a lot of things out of life, but we're not putting the time in, but we want results. That doesn't make sense. We have to be consistent. We have to know what we want. I'll give you an example. For me, I want to be close to God, and I spend time with Him, but it's not enough time, if that makes sense. So the time that I'm spending with Him is today, which is the Sabbath. Happy Sabbath for those of you that are Seventh-day Adventists. I go to church on Saturday, right? So when I go to church on Saturday, I'm spending about anywhere from 2 to maybe 3 hours a week while I'm at church, right? But I want to be close to God, and I want this stuff, but I got to spend time with Him. Even when I'm not in the church. You know, when I'm at home and I'm by myself, or I'm walking, I'm doing my workouts, I'm listening to something that's in reference of God. That's spending time. Or my praise and worship, or whatever I'm doing, I'm spending time with Him. It's like a relationship. We get back to time. It's on those days you don't feel like it, but you just have to put in the work, put in the time. And I know it's hard, it's easier said than done. I'm not just talking about nobody, I'm talking about myself and anybody that's out there. Just listen to what I'm saying. It's hard. Because we are accustomed to living and doing things in a certain way. And again, I'm gonna go back to it. We think we got time. You're like, man, I'm gonna be all right. I'm gonna do that in 2 weeks. But how do we know we're gonna be here in 2 weeks? So we just have to be mindful of that, and really just push forward with that. Push forward. No matter how hard it may seem, no matter what obstacles may come, just keep pushing. Keep pushing. Every day. Keep pushing, put in the time, and put in the work. I remember when I was in school, and I used to see people flourish, and they were like getting like A's or B's, and they were on a roll. And at this point, I wasn't putting the time to be where they were at. But I always saw it, and I was like, you know what? That's where I want to be. Because when I was younger, I used to skip school, not go to school, so my grades diminished from that. And when I saw this stuff, I said, you know what? I'm gonna try to put in the time and the work, and try to see if I can accomplish what I'm seeing. So my grandmother, she transferred me to another school, and I just flourished, and I just was putting in time. Went to school every day, got perfect attendance, never missed a beat, doing schoolwork, staying after school if I needed to do extra credit, whatever it was, I was putting in time. And when I was putting in that time, I got to see the result. And the result was I had multiple perfect attendance awards. I had multiple merit roll awards. I didn't make it to honor roll, even though I tried, but that's not what I'm trying to say here. What I'm trying to say is I was putting in time in school. And when it was time for the results to come, I had an opportunity to see it. And I was proud of myself, because I was like, wow, this is what happened when I put in the time, put in the work. This is the result. I got to see it. Fast forward about 4 years ago, I was a student of the Ohio Media School, and I was there, I was working, I was like really destined to succeed. And I was putting in time. Like, I was there about 4 nights a week for 4 hours. And then I would come in on my off days and I was just trying to get better and better and better. I was just trying to get better. It was just like I was putting in so much time. I was putting in so much time that people used to come by and they used to see me and they'd be like, bro, I see you. Like, seriously, like, I see you, bro. Like, keep it up. And fast forward a little bit, I had a graduation and I got multiple awards, and we had award ceremonies in the school every couple of months, and every time that I was there, I got an award, but I was putting in time. I was putting in work, and I got to see the results of it. And I just thank God that He gave me the energy to do it, to put in that time. And if I'm being quite frank, again, I've lost sight of that. And I'm trying to get to a place where I can get back to that, get back to that. And today is a start for me. It's a start. We focus on so many things in our life, but we don't spend a lot of time to the things that's important to us and the things that hold value to us. That's what we need to stay focused on. If y'all have a family, spend time with your family. If you have a husband, wife, spend time with your husband and wife. Spend time with them. Because those days, those years, you can't get back. I want to emphasize that. You can't get that back. So spend time with them. If you have a dream that you want to accomplish, whatever it is, spend time, put in work, and do it. Regardless of what anybody says, regardless of how anybody else feels about it, you do it, and you spend time doing it. And you do it because you want to do it. Find the time. If you have to go to a library, you need a piece of quiet. I'm pretty sure all of us have kids or nieces or nephews or grandchildren, whatever it is. If you feel like, like in my case, I have 7 boys. I talked about that in another episode. We'll talk about that another time. But if you feel like, hey, I can't do it, it's noisy in my house, okay, cool. We got libraries, Starbucks, wherever it is, just so you can get some quiet time to spend 30 minutes focusing on what you want to do in your life. Because again, we don't know how much time we have left. Could you imagine being on your deathbed and you just laying there and you just thinking about all the things you could have done if you would have just utilized your time that you had? But now you're towards the end. And you tell people like, man, I wish I could have did this. You live in regret. We only regret the things that we should have did when we had the time to do it. So just stay focused. And again, I'm going to reiterate this. It's easier said than done. Because we have so many things that's on our mind. I'm going to give you an example. You might have a family, you might have work, you might have bills, you might have a lot of different things going on in your life. But when that happens, it distracts you on spending time with the things that you want to do or the things that you need to do. Let that sink in. I'm going to say it again. We spend time and our minds are so distracted on the things that we want to do that it's more focused on the things that we need to do. And I'm here to let y'all know that it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Just keep pushing. Just put God first in whatever you do. And I'm a believer of it all just working itself out. It can work itself out. You just have to believe it. Say it with your mouth. Say it, let it flow through your tongue. Like, man, I got this. It's gonna be all right. Like, you can do it. Your time has not run out yet. As long as you hear, somebody said this on a podcast, I think it was Tabitha Brown, and she said, every day that you wake up in the morning, you have purpose, and God's not done with you yet. So you have time. You have time. Every day you get to wake up in the morning to see a new day, and thank you, God, for waking me up today. You have an opportunity to do something special. But you have to believe that. You have to believe that. If nobody else believes it, you have to. And you just keep pushing. Keep pushing. It's going to be hard. Anything worth having won't come easy. It will not. And I'm a prime example of that. Being on this podcast and wanting to do it consistently and it hasn't come easy. Why? Because I ain't found the time to do it. And that's my fault. And I'm gonna own that. I just want y'all to understand. Where I'm coming from. And we just have to be real with ourselves. A lot of us have gone through a lot of things, experienced a lot of things. But one thing that I've recently been doing is, again, trying to spend time on the things that I want to do. But, I just want to say this before I end. Thank you for everyone that took the time, the moment, the hour out your day to just listen to what I've had to say. You can be doing anything else, but you're listening to what I got to say. And I just want to say I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Really. From the bottom of my heart, I really do. I appreciate it. And again, thank you for tuning in to the Genuine Kid podcast. And I'll talk to y'all soon.